Welcome to Movies in the Making. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the 2014 action thriller film John Wick, released by Summit Entertainment and directed by Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. Here, we will dive deep into the story of the production of this film. To anyone wondering if he is back, yes, he is back. So we shall discuss how it all began. This all started from a real-life story, but translating all of that to fiction packed a punch. If you would like to hear about how more films were done behind the scenes, please like down below and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Now, sit back and enjoy the show. You are all in for a nightbound ride. Derek Kolstad began writing the idea at the age of 13, but did not pursue it seriously until he was 26 years old, after a business career. His early gigs include rewriting low-budget action films, but John Wick was his first major theatrical release and personal project written as a spec script. Wanting to explore a pure revenge story, a genre he had loved but had been mishandled lately then, he drew inspiration from authors like Alistair MacLean and Stephen King, combining world-building with intense character capability. The idea for the film's emotional core came from a personal thought. What would he do if someone harmed his dogs? The answer fueled the story's violent, cathartic tone. Kolstad envisioned Paul Newman in the role while writing, but was thrilled when Keanu Reeves signed on. Though many revisions occurred, the core story stayed intact. Despite being a pacifist in real life, Kolstad embraces violent storytelling in film as a form of cathartic entertainment, encouraging audiences to enjoy the ride. The emotional heart of the story was actually inspired by a real-life event involving former Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell. After surviving the harrowing 2005 Operation Red Wings in Afghanistan, Luttrell returned home with severe post-traumatic stress disorder and was given a therapy dog, a yellow Labrador named DASY, whose name honored his fallen teammates. In 2009, two men senselessly shot and killed DASY outside Luttrell's home, prompting him to chase them down across several counties while armed, before calling 911 and letting authorities handle the arrest. The incident profoundly shaped the emotional foundation of John Wick, drawing parallels between Luttrell's grief and Wick's own trauma. In both cases, the dogs represented much more than pets. They symbolized healing, love, and connection to deep personal loss. The story underscores the impact of mental health struggles, the bond between people and their animals, and the dangerous consequences when those emotional lifelines are violently taken away. Chad Stahelski's journey to directing John Wick began with his deep roots in martial arts and stunt work. His career took a dramatic and emotional turn during the making of The Crow, Dimension Films' 1994, when actor Brendan Lee, Stahelski's friend and training partner, tragically died in an on-set accident. Stahelski stepped in as Lee's body double, helping complete the film through a combination of physical mimicry and early CGI technology. The experience not only honored Lee's memory, but also gave Stahelski his first taste of the creative and technical demands of filmmaking beyond stunt coordination. His dedication and precision in creating Lee's movement left a lasting impression and marked the beginning of his transition from stuntsman to visionary filmmaker. Years later, Stahelski reconnected with Keanu Reeves, whom he had worked with as a stunt double on The Matrix, Warner Bros. 1999. Their professional relationship deepened through projects like Man of Tai Chi, Radius TWC, 2013, and when Reeves was developing John Wick, he brought Stahelski and fellow stunt coordinator David Leitch into the conversation. Initially approached to direct only the action sequences, the duo pitched a bold vision for the entire film, one that blended stylized violence with mythic storytelling. Reeves backed their vision, and Thunder Road Entertainment agreed. With that, Stahelski co-directed the first John Wick and later helmed its sequel solo, reshaping modern action cinema with a distinctive blend of choreography, emotion, and gunplay. His experience on The Crow also informed his unwavering commitment to safety on set, driven by the tragic loss of Brandon Lee. Keanu Reeves was cast as titular lead after expressing interest in a script originally written for a 75-year-old retired assassin. Titled Scorn at the time, the screenplay caught the attention of producer Basil Iwanek, who thought its emotional depth and subversive tone made it unique. Reeves read the script and was immediately drawn to the character's tragic backstory and the stylized criminal underworld he inhabited. Though clearly not the elderly lead originally envisioned, Reeves proposed playing the role as a younger man, which writer Kolstad eagerly accepted. Reeves became deeply involved in the development process, even spending weekends with Kolstad revising the script. His passion and vision helped reshape the film into the iconic character and global franchise it would soon become. The film got its title by accident after Reeves repeatedly referred to the film by the wrong name during production. Reeves consistently called it John Wick, after his character. Screenwriter Kolstad explained that the marketing team recognized the unintentional promotion as valuable, estimating that it had already generated millions in free advertising, so they officially changed the title to match what Reeves had been saying. In hindsight, Kolstad could not imagine the film being called anything else, knowing the name change became a key part in the overall franchise's strong branding. During production, Reeves' beard unexpectedly became a major point of contention for the studio executives, who feared it would make him less recognizable and hurt the film's marketability. Despite the pressure, Stahelski and Leitch insisted on keeping the beard because it fit the film's tone as a modern-day myth of a darker, stylized aesthetic. They ultimately defied the studio by filming with Reeves sporting the beard from day one, and when executives saw the footage, they loved the look. Similarly, another controversial creative choice, that being the brutal killing of John's puppy, was initially opposed by financiers who worried audiences would be alienated, but Reeves and the director stood firm, knowing these bold movements were key to the film's genre appeal. Ironically, these very elements that studios feared would almost derail the whole film became iconic features that helped the film stand out and launch a successful franchise, highlighting how unpredictable and cautious Hollywood can be when it comes to creative risks. The Continental Hotel was brought to life using real New York City locations to create its iconic and mysterious presence. The building shows the hotel's exterior as Beaver Building at 1 Wall Street Court, a 15-story structure featuring condos and a sushi restaurant on the ground floor, while other sources list the filming location as being along Pearl Street, 137 to 155, near the financial district. Interior scenes were filmed at the historic venues like Delmonico's Restaurant at 56 Beaver Street and Cipriani 25 Broadway, a grand event space previously featured in shows like HBO's Boardwalk Empire and Fox's Gotham. Though the Continental is not a real hotel, the filmmakers carefully selected these distinctive landmarks to give the setting an authentic, stylish, and timeless feel, perfectly capturing the secretive and elite atmosphere of the assassin underworld. John Wick was also filmed across various real-world locations in and around New York City, giving the film its gritty, grounded atmosphere. Key scenes like Helen's funeral were shot alongside Review Avenue in Queens, while the dramatic moment at Aurelio's garage was filmed on Laurel Hill Boulevard. John's stop at a gas station took place in Nyack, New York, at 226 and 228 Old Mountain Road North. Other iconic sequences include John monitoring a nightclub on Chambers Street in Manhattan and a secretive meeting with Marcus under a bridge on John Street in Brooklyn. These diverse settings helped anchor the film's high stakes and action in a recognizable urban reality. Additional filming took place in notable New York landmarks. Marcus's townhouse was located East 83rd Street, and the Bethesda Arcade in Central Park served as a backdrop for the dramatic execution of Mrs. Perkins. The film's ending scenes, where John walks with his new dog, were captured on New Dock Street and Kent Avenue in Brooklyn, the latter of which also featured earlier in the story during a key emotional moment involving John's late wife. These locations all create an atmospheric and visually rich backdrop that amplified the film's emotional weight and stylish violence. Reeves performed the majority of his own stunts in the John Wick films, specifically about 90% in the first installment. This hands-on approach allowed the editors greater freedom, as they rarely needed to cut around a stunt double. Reeves' close collaboration with Stahelski further strengthened the realism of the fight scenes. One particularly remarkable example of Reeves' dedication occurred during the filming of the iconic nightclub fight scene, when he was battling a 104-degree Fahrenheit fever from the flu. Despite being seriously ill, Reeves not only pushed through the physically demanding shoot but also learned and executed complex stunts and choreography on the same day, delivering one of the film's most intricate and memorable performances under extraordinary conditions. Tyler Bates became the composer for the film after Stahelski and Leitch struggled to find someone who could break away from the typical fast-paced action scores. At the time, Bates had just finished co-writing and producing Marilyn Manson's The Pale Emperor album, and when the filmmakers considered using a Manson song in the film, the rocker recommended Bates for the job. Known for his wide-ranging musical background, from scoring films like Zack Snyder's 300, Warner Bros. 2006, and Watchmen, also Warner Bros., this time 2009, to touring as a guitarist with Manson, Bates impressed the duo with his emotional, story-driven approach and his creative use of guitar and electronic elements. His ability to capture mood and character through music helped define John Wick's gritty, mythic tone, making him an essential part of the film's identity. The original cut of the film was 140 minutes long, significantly longer than the final 101-minute version, according to Stahelski and Leitch. Much of the footage that was cut featured Keanu Reeves simply walking through visually striking environments, which they admitted looked great but did not serve the pacing. The fight between John and Viggo was also trimmed, as the filmmakers felt Viggo would not realistically pose a major threat to John. Additionally, producer Iwanick revealed that the opening scene was initially about 3 times longer than what appears in the final film. David Leitch was uncredited as co-director of the first John Wick film despite playing a major creative role alongside credited director Chad Stahelski. This was largely due to Directors Guild of America rules, which generally only allow one credited director unless there is an established directing team. While Stahelski received official credit, Leitch remained involved as an executive producer throughout the franchise. As of the 30th of May, 2025, John Wick has an 86% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes, a 68 out of 100 critic score on Metacritic, a 7.5 rating on IMDb, and a 3.8 rating on Letterboxd. The film's budget was between $20 and $30 million, and it grossed a total of about $86 million following its initial release date of the 24th of October 2014. And that wraps up our deep dive into the making of John Wick. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay updated on all things movies in the making. Let us know in the comments what you think of John Wick, or if you have any favorite moments of our film we did not touch upon, or films you would like to hear covered by this channel. Also be sure to check out our community page, where we announce what films will be talked about by this channel each week. New posts arrive every Friday, or Saturday if we forget to post on Friday. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time on Movies in the Making. We'll be talking about the Goonies, Warner Brothers, 1985, and more films to follow along the way. Tune in for more Movies in the Making as we uncover the stories behind cinema's most unforgettable films. This has been Jason Scotchmer, film enthusiast and passionate about the arts.